All right, everybody. We are coming at you live from the Discover Denton Welcome Center for Free Beer Fridays with the one, the only Armadillo Ale Works. How's it going, everybody?
Great.
Hey.
It's awesome.
Well, this has been an interview I've been really, really excited for a long time. And I don't know if y'all know this. Y'all started your Kickstarter years and years and years back.
Many.
The week before Denton Radio started our peer backers. And so I've always loved, I've always considered us, even though y'all have no idea who we are, considered us kindred Denton spirits, and been able to look at it and go, you know, anytime I was like, hey, we got 100 likes on Facebook, I was like, Armadillo Ale's got like 1,000. I've got to catch up. And so that was kind of always our measuring stick. And so it was so cool because I felt like this was kind of going back into Denton radio history a little bit for us, getting to do some work with you guys. So it was always really exciting for me, and was so happy Ben was able to set this up. For those of you just tuning in that have no idea what's going on, this is Free Beer Friday. We do this every single Friday here in the Discover Denton Welcome Center. We do a quick interview with the brewers and get to know all the cool stuff behind what goes into your beer, and talk about all this incredible artisanal beer from all over North Texas that you can get all over Denton. Then we have samples here in the Discover Denton Welcome Center. Then after all of that, after you've sampled it, after you've gotten to meet and greet and see all of these shining faces, we head over to the Bearded Monk, where you can meet them in person, get a much bigger glass over there, and you can party the night away with the brewers and maybe even ask them a few questions if they're so inclined.
Oh, yeah.
They do work for beer, I assume. Anyways, so just introductions if we'll go on down the line.
Yep. Hey, my name is Yanni. I am co-founder, and I do sales and marketing for Armadillo Ale Works.
Awesome.
And I'm Bobby Mullins. I'm the other co-founder, and I do the brewing.
I'm Will Sakura. I'm the sales guy and customer service liaison.
And then Ben?
I'm Ben, Bearded Monk. I probably drink way too much of this beer and then sell some of it every once in a while.
And we appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
And then at the very end.
Hi guys, I'm Corey, just a DJ at the Welcome Center.
Just a
guys.
DJ. Just a
DJ.
More than
Come on. Very cool. Well, Corey, you want to start us off tonight?
Can you guys just tell them a little bit about how y'all started? I know that you two met up, and I was all on the site. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little stalker. So I was like, this backstory is cool, so cool. So 2010.
Yeah. So Bobby and I are friends. In my senior year of high school, he was going to school here at the UNT, and we met initially. We were really into local music at the time. We still are, but that was like how we became friends, and we're buddies in college. And then he went off to work at St. Arnold Brewing Company.
Okay.
So he was there for a few years, and then gave me a call one day and was like, hey, I'm thinking about opening a brewery in Denton. What do you think? And that was kind of, we had a few phone calls, and from then it was on. We entered the New Venture Creation Contest at UNT, so that was really good. We got our business plan together, got that going. We did our Kickstarter the next year, and it kind of snowballed from there.
That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. So I see that you guys have some events coming up, and like you said, y'all are trying to incorporate Denton into the area and all that cool stuff. So, like, what do y'all got going on?
On the, let's see, the date's the 19th.
Yep. Next Wednesday.
That is at
Taps and Caps here
in Denton, just a few blocks down. We're doing a food pairing. It's going to be a 4-course food pairing with our beers. Chef Tim from Smoke is going to come in and have a really good menu set up to pair well with it. It was actually, I think, our first beer pairing, something that a lot of breweries do pretty often. But, we're with our store, we've had, I think, the most maybe 2 or 3 beers on at the market at the same time. So for North Texas Beer Week, we came out limited batches of our Greenbelt, our Quakertown, and our brunch money. So the cool thing with that is, the guys over at Taps and Caps were able to hold on to some of those, and we're going to use them now. We'll be doing Dapper Apple, Honey Please, Quakertown, and brunch money.
Oh,
So good.
All in one night. So that's going to be a good night. It's a good lineup.
Dude, I was so excited during North Texas Beer Week when I saw those were getting offered. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. I've been waiting for Quakertown to come back so badly.
Oh, me too.
Such a great
I forgot how much I like that beer. Yeah.
Because it's been so long. Like we've had, we hung on to some bottles from the previous batches. So, but I was limiting those because I didn't want to run out. So when we finally got it fermented and I was pulling it off the tank, I was like, "Oh, it's been so long."
So y'all are in y'all's new space now, right?
Yeah, so currently we're actually contract brewing out of North Texas Brewing Company in Grapevine.
Okay.
And we're wrapping up construction in our place. We really got deep into construction a few months ago, so I think we have probably 2-3 months left, and we're looking at opening up later in the spring is when we'll have our brewery and our tap room open here at 221 Southville Avenue.
Okay.
That'd be so cool.
Very cool.
Yep.
So excited
It's a
about
perfect.
that.
I can go catch Art and go over to a GDAC event.
Yep.
Grab a lunch
Yep.
at Boca,
Get
and
some
then just come across the
tacos
street.
and pinatas.
Or come across the parking lot to. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah. So exciting. Yeah, I think for years, everybody always was making these predictions of where is the square going to expand to and what direction is it going to go. And I totally feel like that's the place that it's going. It's so cool to see all this growth and all this vibrancy happening. And it's so cool to have you guys in downtown. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited because it's something that we definitely wanted to do.
Yeah, that was always our dream, And then was it about a year or maybe 18 months ago is when the city finally we went through the process of the city council, the zoning and planning, got the craft alcohol production officially allowed in downtown zoning. So that was awesome.
Super exciting.
That was
city
great
council
because
meeting.
since then there's been a few other breweries that have announced and others that are opening up new places down here and everything. So I think that was great, and I think in a year or two you really see the benefits of that change.
So what do y'all think, I guess, because there are so many craft beers in Denton and coming up around Denton, what makes y'all different?
From day one, we've always wanted to have like unique beers and unique branding. So we always want to have like really simple and memorable names and branding. But then I think that the most important thing is the actual beers themselves. So, Bobby and I are foodies, and we have always considered ourselves like a culinary inspired brewery. So you always kind of see a strain of that in our beers, like our Honey Please. It's a blonde ale, but it uses mesquite beans, which is a really random ingredient, something that you normally don't, see in beers or think of in a blonde ale, but that adds a certain extra layer of flavor and like an interesting aspect to the beer itself.
That's pretty cool. Jake, did you?
Well, I kind of want to hear from Ben. Ben, you've been able to know these guys for years now. What's a question that you've been dying to ask them?
Oh, I think we've had like some late nights where I've gotten to ask
He has.
everything I want. I mean, there was that night in the hotel that. Oh.
That one I don't remember.
All right, so segueing away from that, I've got another question.
I think I want to know a little bit about the Texas Craft Brewers Guild Fest. I want to hear a little bit about what happened down there, guys.
Well, it was a few years ago. The Texas Craft Brewers Guild is a trade association of all the Texas craft breweries, and once a year they hold a big festival for all the Texas breweries in Austin.
This is one heck of a party.
It's a lot. But it was a few years back, and we were a part of it, and the skies just opened up, and rain poured, and our booth was like right in this. It was basically turned into a river. Everything was getting washed away. We were soaked head to toe, but
we sold out of beer, luckily.
So
we were able to move as the river came in. We were able to move out of the way.
But we got our shoes pretty much got ruined. We were down in Austin. That's the only shoes we had. So we had to go buy some shoes, and Walmart was the only thing open after the festival. So I think Will and I, we decided to walk barefoot through Walmart. That was pretty fun.
You've never lived until you've walked barefoot through Walmart.
It's true. It's a real American experience.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you think, I'm going to be prestigious, I'm going to open my own brewery, and then you look back on a moment like that, and you're like, oh, yeah. This is what ownership of a brewery looks like.
Yeah. I feel like there's more moments like that in brewery work than the prestige.
Yes.
Big time.
All right, that's all I got.
Well, so I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, and y'all can please correct me if I am. I feel like, man, you guys were really the first kid on the block to really get this craft brew thing going here in Denton. And when you do that, that can always be a really tough road to hoe when you're doing something new for the first time. And you kind of got to punch through all of the stuff and the boundaries and the ordinances and the challenges and really make it up and invent it as you go. We've always had cool stories when we have folks in here that when they're creating something new of cool community things that have happened for them. What was Denton's kind of reaction when you guys said, we're going to do this and do a craft brew thing?
Our first event was actually the ice cream social that Spoon put on at Haley's.
Yeah,
and
was still open.
it was like a hot August. It was like right before, it was back to school ice cream social. So it was right before school started. And that was like the first time that we kind of like sampled some beers. I think what really took off all the events we did at Scrap at their old location.
I remember that. Like
the first Fridays.
Yeah.
That's when we, first had some batches of like Quakertown and all this stuff, and we got direct feedback from people in the community, what they liked, what they didn't like. And I think for me and probably for Bobby and Will as well, I'll go ahead and speak for them. Doing the events is the best part, whether it's something at Scrap or the Texas Craft Brewers or heck, what was the one we did last month? The
Untapped?
The Brewers Ball. Oh, Untapped, of course. Yeah, Untapped is awesome because there's bands and everything. But, the Brewers Ball was like the super fancy at the, what hotel?
At the Omni Hotel.
Omni, of course. The Omni Hotel in downtown Dallas. Super fancy ball. And it was all around craft beer. So I think that's something like when we started this that didn't really exist. There wasn't this kind of like range of different events. But now there is. And the community's just grown and craft beer's kind of become more of the mainstream, and that's something that's been really enjoyable to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. And especially for me, because I'm more on the production side, so I don't always get a lot of FaceTime with our customers. So doing the events and stuff, I get to actually meet people, get their feedback, talk to them about things. So it's really, really nice.
Very cool.
I remember back in the day when you were doing the first Friday events at Scrap, I lived on Boulevard. So I would come up, sometimes wheel my son up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Remember that? We'd come up and hang out for a while, and then be like, all right, it's, like 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody go their separate ways. That was so much fun. That was so much fun.
And I remember those, too, because anybody watching or listening on the app, if you don't know what Scrap is, it's like a craft place.
Mm-hmm.
You could get buttons or corks or thread or this or that or whatever. And I remember going into Scrap on one of the first Fridays, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, Armadillo Ale's got beer in the back," and I was like, "What?"
They had that big old awesome cooler,
and it was just so Denton. It's just such a cool experience to see. Well, that's exciting. So what else do you guys have coming up? Any big events or new releases?
Yeah, so we have that one, and then we also have one at Luck down in Dallas next week as well. So that's going to be a good one. Luck, one of the best local beer bars and restaurants. I think everything they have is within like a 50-mile radius of the restaurant or something like that. It's like hyper local. It's pretty cool. And then, other than that, I think, let's see, next month we're going to be re-releasing our Greenbelt. That was our biggest volume mover when we were brewing out of Deep Ellum a couple years ago, so we're going to bring that back in the fold. And then after that, we're working on a new beer that we want to release. Probably in like February or March, we'll be coming out with a new one called Royal Champ. That's a very interesting beer. We haven't really talked about it before, but it's actually a beer that's brewed with a champagne yeast and purple corn nectar. So it's got this real light, dry, crisp finish, and then the purple corn nectar adds this really interesting kind of like hue as well as flavor to the beer. Kind of gives this like hint of like a fruity flavor. It's really, really delicious, and we'll be coming out with that one next. So we've been kind of going back and forth with like bringing some new recipes, some old ones. The old favorites, as well as coming out with some new favorites. So
cool. So what do we have here tonight? If people want to come down, if people are watching the video and they could say, "I want to come down and get this beer," what do we have?
Brunch money.
Brunch
money. Yeah. That one's 10% Imperial Golden Stout. So it's a beer that has a golden color and appearance, but tastes like a stout. It has chocolate, vanilla, coffee, and a bunch of other stuff, and it's delicious.
Cool.
Yeah, we actually.
John Williams says, "What's up, guys?" By the way.
Hey, what up, John?
What's up, John?
We've got the coffee we use too is made right here on the square. West Oak roasted all the coffee.
Yes. Delicious coffee.
So we've been working with Clay and his crew from back when he was
since the
running
first
Bookish.
batch. Yeah.
So now that they've got West Oak, we're working with them. It's a really, really good collaboration. Cause
Awesome.
we talked with them about what we wanted, the flavor profile and stuff, and they came up with something really crazy for us.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, Corey, you got anything else for us?
Not really. I'm kind of excited to go out to be free samples, guys.
Oh yeah.
Well, super cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by. Again, like I said, we've been really, really excited to get to have you guys here. Anybody listening on the app or watching on Facebook, make sure you hop on down to the Discover Denton Welcome Center. You can try this brunch money from Armadillo Ale Works. And then, of course, make sure you head on over to the Bearded Monk afterward for the after party where we'll be getting to hang out with the brewers and getting a little bit bigger glass over there than you will at the Welcome Center. So, again, guys, thank you all so much for coming by.
for
We
having
really,
us.
really
Having us.
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to jump back into the music. Thank you all so much for joining us.